Now, here's the good news. My method that I'm about to give you, you can do the first 80% of it entirely on your phone. And you'll have a finished script and storyboard for your first manga by the end of this video. And no, it's not AI. And no, AI still sucks. Don't bother with it. And I'll also make my own manga short story right along with you. Hey everyone, I'm Prometheus, and I've been making manga for the past 8 years. And here is everything you need to know to make your first manga chapter right now. Step 1. Plot thesis. So you open your phone, go into your notes app, you open a new note file, and you write a 1-sentence plot for your one-shot. And yes, it has to be a one-shot. It can't be a long-running series. If you like Berserk, you like One Piece, you know what they make every week? A chapter. If you want a long-running series, you're gonna have to make a chapter first. Makes sense, right? If you look at Pixar, HBO, any of these companies, this is how they do it. You have to come up with the pilot first. You have to make the short story. This is a standard for a reason. You have to build that muscle so that you can create a beginning, middle, and end for your story idea on demand. And I recommend you make the short story about 21 to 25 pages long, no more, no less, just so you don't get lost in the sauce. Every chapter ones for any of the series you like Naruto and Hero Academia, this is how they do it. If you look at chapter ones for any of these series, are self-contained short stories that set up the main world and source of conflict for the rest of the series. And you're gonna start seeing this everywhere now. Chapter 1 is a short story. The first story arc is a story in and of itself, and then the series as a whole, if it's any good, will also be a self-contained story. So for this one shot, you're going to go in your phone and you're going to type in 1 sentence. And yes, it has to be just 1 sentence. And you can't just keep spamming the word "and" everywhere to just stitch together 5 different statements and just make a paragraph long run-on sentence. That's cheating. So I'll give you an example with my short story. Alright everyone, I'm gonna go into my notes app right here, and I'm going to write my 1-sentence plot summary for my short story King of Birds, right? So it's going to be: child prisoner helps broken bird fly. Therefore, the bird comes back as a phoenix. I can't spell phoenix. To save the boy. And there you go. There's step 1. Now this 1 sentence will have a but or therefore in the middle. So you have the setup and then the payoff. And then you bridge those 2 things with a but or therefore. So as an example, Naruto chapter 1, it would be: boy fails ninja exam, but through acts of heroism is accepted as a true ninja. That's it. Don't worry about the details. We'll figure that out later. This is for you to know exactly what your story is actually about, rather than for you to just keep vibing it out. A lot of stories actually fail here, so I want you to really pay attention and think carefully about what your story is actually about. Without the but or therefore in the sentence, there is no main conflict or tension in the story. Hollywood screenwriters, the writers for South Park, the writers for Rick and Morty, they all swear by this, and it's for a reason. Now, when you have that 1-sentence summary in your phone, alright everyone, so for step 2, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this 1 sentence, copy, paste, and go like this. Now we have the beginning and the ending, and now it's about putting 4 or 5 scenes in between those 2 things. Alright? And now it's all about getting from here to here. So now I want you to write 4 or 5 different sentences to fill in the gaps from the starting point to the ending point. And I want each of these sentences to either start with a but or therefore. So I'll give you an example again. So what we can do here is child prisoner helps broken bird fly. Therefore, the bird promises to come back as a phoenix. But the child only finds another broken bird again. Therefore, the bird makes the same promise again. But the child, I'll put keeps here. It's multiple. But the child keeps only finding another broken bird again. Therefore, the birds make the same promise again. But the child helps the last bird, expecting nothing in return. Therefore, the bird comes back as a phoenix to save the boy, revealing that all those birds were actually him all along. And there you go. Now you can see from that same structure, because it was already a therefore statement that this is causing this, everything that can happen in between can lead up to that moment, and I can just think about how to make that ending more dramatic. So I thought, oh, okay, if I keep having different broken birds coming to the same boy over and over again, that will make the return with the phoenix way more dramatic, right? You can just think about upping the ante with the payoff. All right, now let's run it back with the Naruto example. Naruto wants to be a ninja, but he fails the exam. Therefore, he steals the scroll. Therefore, there is a manhunt after him. But this was all a plan and a trap by his teacher, Mitsuki. But Iruka accepts Naruto. Therefore, Naruto beats Mitsuki. Therefore, Naruto is granted the title of ninja. Alright? And that's the ending for chapter 1. Step 3, the dialogue. Now, in my experience, typing in the dialogue first saves you a lot of trouble down the road. Because you can just be vibing out, drawing all sorts of cool shit, and none of it makes any sense or doesn't go together. So this just keeps things very, very concrete. Alright everyone, so for step 3, we're gonna start fleshing out each of these scenes by typing in the dialogue. Alright, so you can see here, I'm just gonna copy and paste this again, and I'm gonna start typing in what happens. So already, like, child prisoner helps broken bird fly, that's already like 4 or 5 pages minimum, right? So I'm thinking, all right, I need to set up the prison. I need to set up the fact that the kid can talk to things. And I need to set up that the broken bird can't fly. Open with kid holding broken bird. Zoom out. He is in a dark dungeon with one high up window with jail bars on it. Then the door opens with a guard leaving a plate of food for the kid. The kid crawls to the plate of food, but the chain holds him back. So already this sets up that he's chained up in a wall, right? He is obviously a prisoner because they're bringing him food. And then I'm gonna show him being kind by giving water to the plant and by feeding the bird. There we go, that's like the opening scene, and then we do this for all the rest of it. And for the pages, I recommend about 4 or 5 pages for each of the sentences you put in there. But again, just focus as much as you can on the dialogue and just what needs to happen. Don't think in terms of page numbers just yet. So now I want you to go under each of those sentences and think about how you're gonna compose the shots, right? So for example, with Naruto chapter 1, right? Naruto wants to be a ninja, but he fails the exam. This is like the first 10 to 15 pages. Is Naruto in the village? What's the village like? What's the academy like? What are the exams like? All that kind of stuff, right? It's all being set up. Alright everybody, so we did our plot summary, we did our opening image, our ending image, we typed in all the dialogue, we planned out all the pages, and now we get to the fun part, the drawing. Now I know it can all seem a little intimidating at first, but on average, manga pages will have 5 panels, and they look something like this, or like this, and so on, alright? And if you want anything big or dramatic to happen, then you're gonna reduce the number of panels so you have more space to make one of them way bigger. Alright, so this is how I want you to think about it. 5 panels is neutral. Anything less and you're trying to make something really big happen. Any more and you're trying to have something really quick happen, because the smaller the panel, the quicker the eye reads it. You'll see this a lot, especially with something like fight scenes, where you'll see a lot of small panels next to each other. The reason for this is because smaller things are easier and quicker for the eye to read, so we register it as something happening very quickly. And then if you want something dramatic to happen, then you're gonna use less panels and make one of them way bigger. This is how I want you to think about it. It's usually 5 panels, any less, and it's so you can have something big happen. If you want to slow things down or have a big moment or like a large establishing shot of a location or something like that, it's about just getting 80% of the way there. If you're not sure about one page and how it should look, just write like, fight scene happens here, or office scene where the characters get introduced. You can figure it out later. Now, I understand the uncertainty of not knowing how your art's gonna come out or how people will receive it. Manga isn't something to look at, it's something to read. As long as you can convey that feeling, that excitement, you can win awards. Just start. If you don't have a graphics tablet, pencil on paper is just fine. For example, Miyazaki wrote his entire Nausicaa manga with just pencil on paper, and then he just bumped up the contrast so it looks like it's all inked. You don't even need to be that good at drawing. There are so many manga artists out there where illustration is definitely not their strong suit, but they're successful because the stories they tell are so great. And if you start now, your art will become way better. I have some templates below and some pen settings and stuff like that if you want to get started.